All right, so here we're going to look at powers of 10 and values compared to each other. So it says that B is what value compared to E? So I'm looking from going from B to E. It doesn't say E to B, it says B to E. So I'm going to see that that's 1, 2, 3 jumps, and that means it's going to have 3 zeros. And if I notice, B is before the decimal point, so the numbers to the left of the decimal point are whole numbers, and the numbers to the right of the decimal point are parts of the whole. So that's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So if I'm looking at big to small, then it has to be bigger than, and it has to be this many places, 3 places bigger than that. So if B is bigger than E, it cannot be a fraction of that portion. And since it has 3 zeros, it's not 100 times bigger than E. It is 1,000 times bigger than E. Number 2, Miss McGuire had 2/3 pans of a brownie. Colton ate 1/4 of the 2/3. What fraction of the pan did Colton eat? It doesn't say she had 2/3 and subtracted 1/4. It says that he ate 1/4 of the 2/3 that were there. So of in math means multiply. So I'm going to multiply these fractions. So I've got 1/4 times the 2/3 here. And because I have part of a part, my product, is it going to get bigger or smaller than both fractions? Right, it's going to get smaller than both fractions because I'm taking part of a part. And our rule says that if I multiply a number less than 1 by another number less than 1, my product will be smaller than both of those numbers. So if I were to multiply straight across, that's going to give me 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 3 is 12. Now I notice that both of those are even, and I know all even numbers can be divided by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 halves, and that's going to give me 1/6. And if I wanted to prove that rule that it's smaller, I could make equivalent fractions and compare those equivalent fractions. But for the word problem's sake, Colton ate 1/6 of the pan of the 2/3. Well, he ate 1/4 of the 2/3, which would be 1/6 of the pan. All right, so if I did want to compare just to prove that my product is smaller, we already know that 12 is a multiple of all 3 of those. So I could do that real quick. I know that 2/12 is the same as 1/6. I know that 4 times 3 is 12, so times 3/3, 3/12. See, it's smaller than that one. And then times 4/4 would give me 8. So 2/12 is smaller than 3/12 and 8/12, so we can prove our rule there. All right, when I'm looking at 679, sorry. All right, 679 times 83. I've got 9 times 3 is 27. So my first partial product is going to have a 7. Regroup here. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 plus 3 plus 2 is 23. Getting ahead of myself with my answer. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20. So my first partial product is 2,037. I'm done with the ones place. We put this 0 here because we're not multiplying by 1 again, we're multiplying by 80, by the tens place. So 9 times 8 is 72. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 plus 7 is 63. 6 times 8 is 48. And 48 plus 6 is 54. So my second partial product is 54,320. And then I add both my partial products together to get my total. I have 7. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 5 plus nothing. So I have 56,357. All right, next I have 2 sets of parentheses and brackets here. So I've got to work from the outside or from the inside out. I'm going to start with what's in the brackets over here. And in my brackets, I do have another set of parentheses. So we know that PEMDAS tells us that we don't have to worry about the exponents in 5th grade yet with our order of operations, but it's coming for you next year in 6th grade. So parentheses first inside my brackets here, so that's going to give me 21 divided by 7. I have another set of brackets over here. I've got to do these first too. That's going to give me 25 minus 9 is 16, and I've got 16 times 4. So before I can do anything else, I have to do my last set of parentheses on both sides. So I know my basic facts. I know that 21 divided by 7 is 3. 16 times 4, I might need to come over here and work it out. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So that gives me 64. 64 plus 3 gives me a final answer of 69. Last one here. Miss Torsak had 1/5 of a cake left after dinner. She shared it with 4 friends the next day. So I've got 1/5, and I see the word of, but in this case, it's just telling me I have this much of the cake left. What word I need to pay attention to is shared. And shared means that I'm going to be dividing it with my 4 friends. What I have to decide is, am I sharing the cake or am I sharing my friends? Well, I'm not splitting my friends into fifths. I'm splitting my cake between the 4 friends. So I have to write 1/5 of the cake first, divided by my 4 friends, among my 4 friends. So, and then we know our rule is to keep the first fraction, flip the sign, change the sign, and then we know this whole number is over a 1. So I change my sign, I flip the second fraction, it's going to be 1/4 now, and then I multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. And 5 times 4 is 20. So each of my friends, my 4 friends, are going to get 1/20 of the cake compared to the whole. Okay, so don't forget that when you have division of fraction problems, always think, am I dividing the people or am I dividing the object? In this case, the object is the cake, and I'm splitting it with my 4 friends. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Sorry I dropped my camera. That's how life flows. See you later.